अस्सलामुअलैकुम। मैं डॉक्टर मोहम्मद राशिद फ़ारूकी आपसे मुखातिब हूँ आज इस 2 रोज़ा कॉन्फ्रेंस बउनवान कारोबारी माहौलियाती निज़ाम हिंदुस्तानी तरक्की के तनाजुर में इख्तिरारात, मसनूई ज़हानत, महसूल, पायदार तरक्की अहदाफ, पैराडाइम शिफ्ट इन बिजनेस, इकोसिस्टम, इनोवेशन, AI, टैरिफ एंड SDGs फॉर प्रॉस्पेरस इंडिया। इसका आगाज़ कुरान पाक की तिलावत से करेंगे। मैं तौसीफ़ खान जो BCom फाइनल ईयर के तालिब में हैं, उनसे दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि वो आएँ और कुरान की तिलावत करें।
Good morning all of you. Assalamu alaikum. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فالضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. صدق الله العظيم. By the morning brightness and by the night when it covers with darkness, your Lord has not taken leave of you, and the hereafter is better for you than the first life. And your Lord is going to give you, and you will be satisfied. He found you lost and guided you, and he found you poor and made you self-sufficient. So as for the orphan, do not oppress him, and as for the petitioner, do not repel him. But as for the favor of your Lord, report it. Thank you.
बहुत शुक्रिया तौसीफ़। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट द मीडिया टीम टू प्ले मानू तराना।
ये बाबे शहरे इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का, ये बाबे शहरे इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का। आओ सफ़र यहाँ से करे आसमान का, बाबे शहरे इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का। इल्मो कमाल फज़लो शेर शहर इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का। हर नक्शो रंगो बू से करो अपनी गुफ्तगू, आजाद दरसगाह की है ये भी जुस्तजू। सब फासला मिटाते चलो दरमियान का। ये बाबे शहर इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का। ग़र्बो जुनूब से हो के शर्क़ो वो शुमाल से, आगे बढ़ो ख़याल मिला दो ख़याल से। चर्चा हो कायनात में हिंदुस्तान का। ये बाबे शहर इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का। फसले सदा बहार से बस्ती बसी रहे, मिलकर दुआ करो कि ये खेती हरी रहे। साया रहे सरों पे किसी साहिबान का। आओ सफर यहाँ से करें आसमान का। ये बाबे शहर इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का। ये बाबे शहर इल्म है उर्दू ज़बान का।
इस दिलफरेब तराने को पेश करने के लिए Good morning to distinguished audience, galaxy of academician and researcher present here. I, Mohammad Rashid Farooqi, extend a very warm welcome to the honorable guest gathered here for the inaugural ceremony of today's National Conference on Paradigm Shift in Business, Ecosystem, Innovation, AI, Tariff and SDGs for Prosperous India, means a Viksit Bharat. Progressive India is defined by a vision of innovation, unity and rapid transformation captured by luminaries like APJ Abdul Kalam, who stated dreams transform into thought and thought results in action. These quotes highlight a forward-looking, industrious nation emphasizing youth-driven progress, resilience and global contribution. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Padma Shri, Professor Syed Ainul Hasan Sahab. We also have among us Dr. Suryakant Sharma, Director, Electronics, ESDM and Semiconductors and Energy Storage, IT, Electronic and Communication Department, Government of Telangana as a Chief Guest. Welcome, sir. We also have the presence of Professor Vijaya Bhaskar, Mary Shetty, Professor and Dean Academics, IIM Visakhapatnam, as a keynote speaker. So without any delay, to proceed further in the inaugural session, I would like to request our head of the department, Professor Abdul Azim Sahab, the captain of our ship, to give welcome address. But before that, मैं अजीम सर की शख्सियत पे थोड़ा रोशनी डालना चाहता हूं, जो सिर्फ नाम से ही अजीम नहीं बल्कि इनकी शख्सियत इतनी अजीम है अपनी कारकर्दगी के बिना पर, जो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट ही नहीं बल्कि यूनिवर्सिटी की तरक्की के लिए हमेशा कोशा रहते हैं, इसलिए अपना एक मनफरद मकाम रखते हैं. मेरी नज़र में ही इज़ अ मैन ऑफ क्राइसिस. व्हाट आई ऑब्जर्व, ए लीडर हु एक्सेल्स ड्यूरिंग टाइम ऑफ एक्सट्रीम डिफिकल्टी, instability or intense pressure. He has the ability to adopt, manage chaos and take decision action when traditional method fails. आपकी इन्हीं खुसूसियात की वजह कर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट आपको मर्द बहरान से लक़ब से मुंसलिक करता है. आपको बुलाने से पहले एक शेर आपकी नज़र, कोई सूरत का दीवाना कोई सीरत का दीवाना, कोई दीवाने शीरीं कोई दीवाने लैला, मेरी दीवानगी को ये दीवाने पा नहीं सकते, मुअम्मा मेरी मस्ती का कोई सुलझा नहीं सकते. प्लीज कम ऑन द डाइस सर.
शुक्रिया राशिद फारूकी. बट बेसिकली आई एम ए टीचर. बेसिकली आई एम ए टीचर. सो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आप जिस सीढ़ी पे बैठे हुए हैं वही सीढ़ी आपको ऊपर ले जाने वाली है, तरक्की की तरफ ले जाने वाली है. तो आप बगैर शर्माए आराम से बैठ जाइए, स्टेप्स पे बैठ जाइए, वही सीढ़ी आपको तरक्की की तरफ ले जाएगी. बिफोर ए फॉर्मल वेलकम एड्रेस, रेस्पेक्टेड ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर साहब, a visionary vice chancellor of our university, more student friendly I can say, respected distinguished chief guest Dr. Suryakant Sharma sahab, eminent keynote speaker Professor Vijay Bhaskar sahab, Dean School of Commerce and Business Management Professor Razaullah sahab, deans of various departments, heads of the departments, fellow academicians, delegates, participants, research scholars, dear students, and all the audience who are present, good morning, namaskar, assalamu alaikum. It's a privilege for the Department of Management and Commerce, in collaboration with the Center for Distance and Online Education, to welcome you all for this 2 days national conference. On this occasion, I formally welcome the dignitaries present on the dais with a sapling. I request our Dean, Professor Razaullah Sahab, to present a sapling to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ainul Hassan Sahab. आपको ये बताते चलूँ, for the information of the guests available here, the Manu Tarana which you heard is written by our Honorable Vice Chancellor sir. Now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahab to present a sapling to our chief guest, Dr. Suryakant Sharma sir. He is an Director of Electronics in Government of Telangana. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahab to present a sapling to our eminent speaker, Professor Vijay Bhaskar sir. He is a faculty of IIM. Please be seated, sir. We all know that as we stand at the threshold of rapid changes in the technological landscape worldwide, there is a need for Indian business ecosystem also to go a radical shift. In view of this transformation of technological changes, the department, with lot of deliberations, have decided to have this conference. This conference is designed as a platform for critical dialogue between the industry leaders and academia. We have tried our level best to bring maximum industry people, and we linked that industry experience with the academics. So over these 2 days, we will dwell into how these 4 pillars of business ecosystem, as we see in our title, innovation, artificial intelligence, tariff, sustainable development goals, can synergize to build a prosperous India, Viksit Bharat 2047. So once again, I welcome one and all on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Now, this is time to introduce today's hero, the convener of this conference. And I think students, they are aware about that very personality. The convener of the national conference, Dr. Kamruddin sir, a man with always beautiful smile and full of vim, vigor and vitality. सर, आपके लिए एक शेर है, मैं आपको बाद में एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ। नहीं तेरा नशेमन कसरे सुल्तानी की गुंबद पे, तू शाहीन है बसेरा कर पहाड़ों की चट्टानों में। प्लीज, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, वेलकम डॉक्टर कमरुद्दीन सर। You are not an ordinary creature. You will fly high. Sky is your limit, sir. We do expect many more, sir. Thank you. Please.
Thank you very much for being with us. Really, I am thankful to Professor Lionel Hassan, sir, who creates the jubilant academic and intellectual environment in the campus after taking over the charge as the Vice Chancellor of this university. And at the same time, I thank our Dean and at the School of Commerce and Management, and at the same time as the Director of Center for Distance and Online Education, and my close friend and Head of the Department and Proctor of this university, Professor Abdul Azim sir. And I thank Chief Guest of this occasion, Professor Sharma sir, and my close friend and Professor of IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Visakhapatnam, Indian Institute of Management, Professor Vijay Bhaskar sir, for gracing this occasion. I welcome you to this 2 days national conference. We have taken a topic which is more relevant and prevalent, which is happening across the globe. There is a paradigm shift in business ecosystems, and there are the aspects like AI, innovations, tariffs, and SDGs. And we happen to see that in the global wide, there is the vibrancy that are taking place in the trade-offs between the various nations, and the innovations that are ruling our day-to-day life to the business world. And all these things should be in congruence with the Sustainable Development Goals which are proposed by the United Nations organization, and which is to be adopted by every nation of the world. And all these things are integrated in the context of India, and in the context of vision of India that is called Viksit Bharat of 2047, which is more relevant of the occasion. This is the brief introduction on behalf of the business management and the commerce, and we have taken this topic and we invited the galaxy of people from the various organizations, and the people from industry, people from academia, people from the research, people from defense, and this is the people, those who are going to have what we see that exchange of ideas, having a discussion and a development of a certain ways and means, since we are in the university where the place it is called the place of the intellectual people, the meetings of the intellectual people are going to be taken place. And as far as our conference is concerned, and we received more than 165 research papers across India. But for the sake of the publication, because of the last minute, we received another 10 papers, but 155 papers have been published here in our conference proceedings with the ISBN number. This is the one of the unique aspects that is developed by Department of Management and Commerce. And this, to our surprise, almost all, it's named not only for the sake of the name as the national conference, but really the entire paper, suppose if you go through your conference proceedings, you find that, and we received the papers from 16 states, and from Telangana to, and Bihar to Chhattisgarh to eastern part of India to southern part of the Kerala, and this is the one of the great milestones that is achieved by Department of Management and Commerce. And as far as the composition of the people are coming from the various universities and along with the various premier organizations too. And this in this place, the technical sessions are going to be chaired by the people from startups, entrepreneurs, along with Microsoft, Broadcom, and there are the various from the various banks general managers are going to grace coming the 2 days occasions. And we planned for the 7 sessions to accommodate 160 papers for coming 2 days. And there are the 5 offline sessions, 2 online sessions who have been planned. And along with that, at the end of the valedictory section, the Joint Director of Telangana, Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, and this is the one of the unique features, that is the government of Telangana nominated for this conference 15 faculty members with their orders. And in the valedictory also, and at the last session, we are going to organize a panel discussion where the combination of both practitioners and researchers are going to be the panelists. You are welcome to the panel discussions also, and you may also contribute your ideas, and it can be summarized, and we can fulfill the purpose of as a university to send the policy guidelines to the Government of India. Thank you very much for coming here and being gracing here, and welcome to the Department of Management and Commerce and the family of Maulana Azad National University. Thank you very much to one and all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamruddin sir, for sharing your valuable insight with us. This is now time for inaugural address by our Honorable Dean and Director, CDOE, Professor Razullah Khan sir. Under his guidance and leadership, Manu attains new height. He is a true academic leader who blessed with so many qualities. सर के बहुत कहने के बाद मैं बहुत महदूद करके बोल रहा हूँ. He acts as a problem solver. कुछ भी हो तो रजा सर याद आते हैं. अल्लामा इकबाल का एक शेर याद आ रहा, हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में कोई दीदावर पैदा. Please, gentlemen, give round of applause.
And the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Syed Ainul Hasan Sahar, Chief Guest, Dr. Suryakant Sharma ji, Keynote Speaker of today, Professor Vijay Bhaskar, Conference Director, Professor M.A. Azim, Convener of this conference, Dr. Sheikh Kamruddin, respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, participants, ladies and gentlemen. I am reading because I am a teacher. I may take more time because we are already late. So I will stick to what I have written and I will not go beyond that. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to this 2-day national conference on paradigm shift in business ecosystem, innovations, artificial intelligence, tariffs, and sustainable development goals for prosperous India. Today, we gather not merely to deliberate, but to envision the future of India's economic and social transformation. We stand at a defining moment in history, the global ecosystem undergoing rapid change, driven by technological breakthroughs, shifting trade dynamics, and the urgent call for sustainable development. For India, this is just not a challenge, but a tremendous opportunity to reimagine our pathways to prosperity. The themes include innovations, that is the heartbeat of progress and engine of change. From startups to established enterprises, India's entrepreneurial spirit is reshaping industries and creating new avenues for growth. India has the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, with over 1.57 lakh recognized startups, over 100 unicorns, now symbolizes India's entrepreneurial strength, and notably 51% of startups are emerging from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, proving that innovation is no longer confined to metropolitan hubs. The second theme is pertaining to the artificial intelligence, the buzzword AI. It is the new language of commerce, and it is no longer futuristic. It is reshaping the businesses right now, and it is having profound ways on which the ecosystem is get affected. AI algorithms are now transforming decision-making, supply chains, healthcare, education, and governance. Harnessing the AI responsibly will be the key to inclusive development. While AI accounted for only 4.5% of India's startup funding in 2025, as per the report, compared to nearly 40% in the US, the potential for growth is immense in India. India is now ranked third in the Harvard University AI Vibrancy Index. It used to be at 7th place 5 years back. In last 2 years, it jumped to 5th. Now it is the third in the index prepared by the Stanford University. There are 7 pillars that includes R&D, talent, economy and investment, policy and governance, infrastructure, responsible AI, and the last one, public opinion. At number 1, US ranks with a score of 78.8, China at second place with a score of 36.95, and India at third place with 21.59 score. The third theme pertains to tariffs. The tariffs and trade policies are evolving in response to global uncertainties. According to WTO data, India's simple average applied tariff in 2025 stood at 15.8% with an effective applied rate of 8.2%. Bound tariffs remain significantly higher at 48.5%, reflecting the delicate balance between protecting domestic industries and integrating into global value chains. The next sub-theme that we have kept for the Business Ecosystem Conference is Sustainable Development Goals. It aims at peace and prosperity for people and the planet. This reminds us that prosperity cannot be measured by GDP alone. It must be inclusive, equitable, and environmentally conscious. India's vision of Viksit Bharat aligns with these global goals, but a strong push is needed to overcome challenges and disparities. As per Sustainable Development Goal SDG Report 2025, India ranked 99 out of 167 countries. This conference is not just about discussions, it is about building bridges between academia, industry, policymakers, and innovators. Over the next 2 days, I urge each of you to engage deeply, challenge assumptions, and co-create actionable strategies. Let us explore how India can lead in innovation, leverage AI for societal good, navigate trade complexities wisely, and embed sustainability into every business model, aiming for peace and prosperity for people of India. As we inaugurate this conference, let us reaffirm our collective commitment to shape a business ecosystem that is dynamic, resilient, and aligned with the aspirations of prosperous India. Together, we can ensure that the paradigm shift we speak of today becomes the foundation of tomorrow's success. At this momentous occasion, I express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Vice Chancellor for his unstinted support all the time. Also express thanks to conference director, convener, and entire organizing team, guests, resource persons, and participants for making this gathering possible. May the deliberations here inspire bold ideas, meaningful collaborations, and transformative outcomes. Sabhi ka behad shukriya. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving this database information. Nowadays, data are the new source of power. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable insight with us. This is time for release of souvenir. Now I request all the dignitaries present on the dais to release the souvenir of this conference. Thank you very much, sir. Now, this is a great time for our chief guest, but before that, मैं अपने लिए कुछ बोला नहीं हूँ, बोलना चाहता हूँ. तुम्हारे शहर का मौसम बड़ा सुहाना लगे, मैं एक शाम चुरा लूँ अगर बुरा ना लगे, तुम्हारे बस में हो तो भूल जाओ मुझे, तुम्हें भुलाने में शायद मुझे जमाना लगे. अब थोड़ा सीरियस नोट पे आते हैं. दैट इज हमारे चीफ गेस्ट इंडस्ट्री से हैं और एकेडमिक एंड इंडस्ट्री कोलैबोरेशन. दिस इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस. This provide an organization with a blend of practical expertise and academic rigor, जिस पे हम लोग भी फोकस करते हैं. तो सर का एक मुख्तसर था तारुफ है. लिस्ट इज़ टू लॉन्ग बट ड्यू टू शॉर्टेज ऑफ टाइम मैं अपने तरह से सर के रिज्यूम पे रोशनी डालता हूँ. डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत शर्मा, डायरेक्टर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, ESDM एंड सेमीकंडक्टर्स एंड एनर्जी स्टोरेज, IT इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन डिपार्टमेंट, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ तेलंगाना. Dr. Sharma is distinguished professional whose career reflects a remarkable blend of strategic leadership, technological insight, and policy expertise. He plays a significant role in strengthening Telangana electronics and semiconductor ecosystem. Sir, आपका और हमारा रिश्ता मैनेजमेंट का, एकेडमिक का और वो है. तो एक शेर याद आ रहा है, मैं बोलता हूँ. वो आप और हमारे रिश्ते के बीच का शेर है. कभी तुमको भी एहसास से मोहब्बत हो तो आ जाना, किसी बेचैन दिल की ज़रूरत हो तो आ जाना, हमारा दिल तुम्हारी याद में दिन रात जगता है, तुम्हारी भी अगर ऐसी हालत हो तो आ जाना. और सर आ ही गए. सर मोस्ट वेलकम, प्लीज कम ऑन द डाइस.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I must convey my sincere thanks to the university, especially Padma Shri Professor Hassan ji, who's been kind enough to call me here, the conducting staff, the faculty and students. Thank you so much for inviting me for this August conference of 2 days. Now, the problem is, MC Saab ko dekh ke I'm also motivated to divert away, and I think I will do that. I have two options. When I got this information, I went to ChatGPT, मैंने presentation पूरी बना ली है. But that, I think, will not suit the occasion because there are learned people who are going to talk on this for the next 2 days. So what I will do is, I will give you about my journey, because student मैं रह चुका हूँ, PhD में कर चुका हूँ, पढ़ा भी चुका हूँ, industry में भी रह चुका हूँ और government में भी हूँ. So what happens is, I have seen the entire spectrum from a student to a person working in a manufacturing firm, at the same time being in central government as a pilot in the Air Force, and in the state government looking after electronics promotion for Telangana state. So, sir, taking the liberty today, I will not speak on the topic per se, but talk about my journey. And you all might not realize, जिस मदर टंग में आप लोग जिसमें पैदा होते हो, आप उसी मदर टंग में सोचते हो, उसको कन्वर्ट करते हो इंग्लिश में, एक अडाप्टर होता है, एंड देन यू टॉक इन इंग्लिश. So what I will do is, I will speak in Hindi and English as my brain thinks. So I will not talk in pure English. I will talk in what my brain is thinking. I will give you about how I was born and how I have reached here. My father was working in Rockefeller Foundation in 69-70. He was asked to establish an organization called ICRISAT in Patancheru. तो वहाँ पे उनको एज ए फर्स्ट एम्प्लॉय भेजा गया. आई वॉज अबाउट 4 years old, 4 साल का था जब मैं वहाँ पे गए हम लोग. माई ब्रदर वॉज अबाउट 6 years, 6 और 4 साल के थे हम लोग. हमको वहाँ ले जाके पटक दिया गया जंगल में, बिकॉज वहाँ कुछ नहीं था. तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने थोड़ा सा फेवर किया. एक कैंटीन, जो वर्कर्स कैंटीन थी, IDA पटन थे, और ज़मीन पे लेट के आसमान को देखते थे. 72 का टाइम था, हमने 71 वॉर विन करी थी. तो अक्टूबर नवंबर में फ्लाई पास्ट, बिकॉज दिस वाज द टाइम द 71 वॉर का फर्स्ट एनिवर्सरी वाज सपोज्ड टू बी सेलिब्रेटेड. तो हम जब लेटे होते थे, ऊपर से 8 एयरक्राफ्ट फ्लाई पास्ट प्रैक्टिस करते थे टू डू इट ऑन द फाइनल डे. तो बचपन में मैंने कहा कि मैं बड़ा होकर ये उड़ाऊंगा. भाई ने बोला तो चुपचाप रहे, भैंस चराते हैं और घर जाते हैं. तो दैट इज़ वेयर आई डिसाइडेड आई वांट टू बिकम अ पायलट. एंड हाउ आई स्टार्टेड स्टडिंग इज, हमने वही लोकल गालियाँ सीखी दोस्तों से जो हमारे साथ थे. तो हमारे जो मेड सर्वेंट थे, उन्होंने माँ को बताया कि किस टाइप की गालियाँ दे रहे थे. तो पापा ने निकाल के दोनों को फर्स्ट क्लास में डाल दिया, जबकि ABCD भी नहीं आता था हमको. फिर पढ़ाई शुरू करी. आई जॉइन द एयरफोर्स 72 एंड 86 में आई स्टार्टेड फ्लाइंग. आई फ्लू फॉर अबाउट 8-10 years. फिर मैंने कहा फ्लाइंग तो कर लिया, अब क्या करूँ मैं. तो अपना जो एम था, फोकस, वो तो बन गया. फिर मैंने कहा पढ़ाई शुरू करते हैं. तो फाइनली आई डिड 3 masters, 1 in strategy, 1 in HR, एंड 1 more अगेन MBA किया मैंने. अब यहाँ प्रॉब्लम ये होगी, फ़ौज मुझे कुछ और कराना चाहती थी, मैं कुछ और करना चाहता था. तो फ़ौज ने बोला इसको स्ट्रैटेजी सिखाओ. तो मैंने एक मास्टर्स MS इन स्ट्रैटेजी किया है. देन आई डिड माई MPhil इन स्ट्रैटेजी एंड PhD. खैर PhD को छोड़ते हैं. देन मेरा पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट था HR एंड OB, बिकॉज फ़ौज में ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज इज द मैक्सिमम और द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट एनीवेयर इट इज़. बट माई इंटरेस्ट वॉज दिस. तो मैंने पहले पर्सनल मैनेजमेंट में मास्टर्स किया, MBA किया, एंड देन आई डिड माई PhD इन HR एंड OB का कॉम्बिनेशन. उसके बाद मैंने कहा दोनों को कंबाइन करते हैं. तो आई एम डूइंग माई सेकेंड PhD फ्रॉम XLRI in the area of strategy and OB. So, why I have told you this story is basically the aim you have, especially when I saw youngsters sitting in the rear, I said कि ये 2 दिन का जो program है, this will happen. But then once you decide that you want to become something, the entire universe, even if it does not collude, it will not oppose you from doing that. But even if it opposes, if you have a decision made, you can actually reach there. ठीक है. So that is my life story. And how I reached this, Fauj mein I had a problem with my eyes, so I decided to leave Air Force. I joined ICRISAT again, where my father was the first employee. वहाँ से they asked me to go to Africa, माली जाने के लिए बोला था, West Africa. Not a very good place, so I decided to opt out. And then I joined Micromax, which was the first company जो हैदराबाद में आई थी after bifurcation of state. And I was doing some good job for the state. So in 2000, I was asked to join the state government. I've joined the state government in the capacity of promoting industries to get to come to Telangana. Usme two good big companies are Foxconn ko my team has brought them to Hyderabad, and also Amar Raja, which was going to Chennai. Unko खींच के हम लोग हैदराबाद लाए थे. So we've done some good work in the government also, and this is primarily based on focus and interest. That is what is most important for you youngsters, and of course you have very august faculty members who will actually guide you reach there. And now that we have come here, now let me just speak for 2 minutes on the topic, which is paradigm shift in business ecosystem, innovation, AI, tariffs, SDG, and all this for Prosperous India. No, this is not from AI, it is from my heart what I have wrote. See, the first thing is, as far as innovations are concerned, Indians are the most innovative lot in the entire world. Yeah, mano na mano. The only problem is our education system, which takes us by rote. एक अगर कुछ पढ़ना है तो उसको 10 बार पढ़ लो, याद हो गया, उसमें है. But then by nature we are most innovative people. That's why when we go beyond rote, we are the best innovators in the world, so to say. Next is, see, अभी AI का ज़माना है. My only worry is children from 5th, 6th class to 12th class, they should not get too involved with AI in the sense using AI. First few years, especially MBA maybe, it's very easy to use AI, but you should actually go through your syllabus, you should go through your study material, and also go beyond this, study. Just don't use an AI tool and get your answers or get your outcomes. The exam sheet or jo answer sheet hoti hai, that is not to test what AI can do for you, but it is to ensure that you study and come out with good innovative solutions or good sound solutions in any organization. Then coming to tariffs. This is a time of tariffs. It will continue for some time. But good thing about what we have done in India is कि हमने अपना time पे we have woken up. We have diversified our effect of tariff, which will come on to us in the sense that we have gone to Southeast Asia, we have gone to Europe, so as to diversify that effect of tariff. And जितने हमने जो deal sign किए in the last 4-5 months, that probably has kind of been an instrumental factor in ensuring that US has again reversed the tariff on us, because they've realized India is not going to bend and India is going to continue on its journey. It is agnostic of any other party which is in power or otherwise. We were 25% of the world's GDP when Britishers came to here, if we continue in the same trajectory. So basically, tariffs or no tariffs, India का time आ गया है, कोई India को रोक नहीं सकता है, unless we ourselves goof it up and do not come up to the expectations of our country. So basically what it means is, whether it is tariff or no tariff, and as long as we can understand and manage the developmental goals which are laid down for India, हमको अपने एक तो UN set some sustainable development goals, but we also as a nation have set some goals, which I'm sure in the next 2 days will be kind of going over and over and over again. How do we ensuring that it is sustainable, we rise to the occasion and we go where we are supposed to go. With that, I think I will not take too much of time, and wish you all the very best for this next 2 days. But once you start on this journey, don't close it at tomorrow evening and then get back to your studies. Keep it in mind whenever you get into any kind of course or any kind of vocation, so to say. Please understand where we are coming from and utilize this as you go along in your lives. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Your academic journey is very inspiring and motivating, and you could achieve your milestones in your life. And thank you very much for sharing this valuable insight with us. Now, this is high time to get addressed by our keynote speaker, Vijay Bhaskar Mary Shetty, sir. This is our great privilege, sir, to welcome our honorable keynote speaker, Professor Vijay Bhaskar Mary Shetty, Dr. Ambedkar Chair Professor and Dean Academics, IIM Visakhapatnam. Earlier, sir has worked as a professor at School of Management Studies, Hyderabad, IIM Bangalore, Monash University, Australia. His current research primarily focuses upon fintech and its application in democratizing wealth distribution in India. He worked extensively on the usage of technology to empower Indian poor household. He is the recipient of several research grants from the Ministry of Electronics, and IT, the Department of Science and Technology, the RBI, and the Ministry of Education. Sir, most welcome. सर, आप IIM से हैं तो IIM की बात आते ही हम लोगों के अंदर एक अजीब सी कैफियत हो जाती है. एक शेर के जरिया आई कैन एक्सप्रेस. सुकून दिल के लिए कुछ तो एहतमाम करूं, ज़रा नज़र जो मिले तो फिर इन्हें सलाम करूं, और मुझे तो होश नहीं, आप ही मशवरा दीजिए, कहाँ से छेड़ूं फसाना, कहाँ तमाम करूं.
Thank you, Farooqi Saab. Pleasure to be here. Padma Shri, Professor Hassan, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Manu, and Professor Azim, Head of the Department, Professor Razullah Khan, Dean of Commerce and Management School at Manu, and then Professor Kamruddin, thanks for inviting me to deliver a keynote address on this great occasion. First, I'd like to congratulate for organizing a great conference on a very timely topic. And so it's great to be here. And I've been asked to talk about paradigm shifts happening in the space of the whole world economy. So before I start my talk, it's great to be here for a couple of reasons. One, any abode of learning, when you come, I think the first sign of greatness is you should feel humbled, and you should experience illiteracy, no matter what you are at the moment. So in fact, I experienced after listening to Farooqi Saab, I got this inner urge to learn Urdu more and try to talk in Urdu. It's such a beautiful language to express your feelings. Thank you. Thank you for the share. I don't know. I didn't understand most of it, but I'd like to know more about it. Yeah, thank you. And I think, paradigm shift is a continuous change that has been happening over many centuries that we have a record of. Paradigm shift is happening within me at the moment. I've been a finance professor for 22 years. Now, last 6 years, I can say I'm not really a finance professor. I'm a technology, come finance, come strategy professor. I work with government, delivering big digital public infrastructure pilots for the government. I set up a blockchain lab at ISB in Hyderabad. So this is something I never thought of, but opportunities come and you pick up and then you learn new skills. So paradigm shift is very important for us to unleash our own value. I never thought I'll get into this space without all these paradigm shifts happening in the world. So let me take you back, in the history. What kind of paradigm shifts happen in the recorded history of, say, for example, last, say, 600 years old history of our civilization. So, 600 years back, if I want to know what's there in the Bible, for example, if I want to know, it's not easy for me to know because I don't know how to read and write. And the only way I get to know is maybe by going and talking to a priest in the church, or looking at all the paintings on the church and figuring out what's there in the Bible. So in other words, the data or knowledge transfer process was very inefficient. Then there was a big paradigm shift in the form of innovation. So innovation is always the cause for a paradigm shift. At that time, the innovation was a printing press, right? So printing press led to a huge paradigm shift. Because of printing press, access to knowledge became relatively easy, and because of access, you see that a lot of universities were established for people to learn and read and try to know more about it. And the moment you know more about things and you gain knowledge, our human urge is to monetize it. How can you exchange information, right? How can you transact information? So you see that was a constraint after a certain point. You started, innovating more and more, but you reach a limit in terms of how much you can travel distances and exchange knowledge or monetize data. Then at that time, again, you can think something like engine. Engine is a big innovation that led us to travel distances and, reach out to people and monetize information. Then I think there are limits in terms of whom you can consult, how much time you take, etc., all those things. Then there was a big innovation again in the history, say, for example, internet. Internet is such a big innovation. which has changed the whole paradigm on how we collaborate, how we exchange information, how we monetize information, right? So in other words, now it doesn't really matter. Any point of time, any place in the world, real time, you can transact. But see, when world becomes like that, when people can transact with anyone from anywhere in the world at any point of time, then there is a limit in terms of with whom you can transact, how much you can transact. There is a limit in terms of, for example, now, internet led us to transact with anyone. But what limits us not to transact? So one thing what limits us not to is trust. Although there is internet, there is access that I can monetize my data point with anyone in the world, but there is a trust problem that I cannot do it with everyone. See, when you have an opportunity that anyone can transact with anyone, any place in the world, what really limits us not to transact is the trust. And trust is a big problem to solve. And innovation is needed on how to solve the trust problem. For example, you take the top, maybe the companies that have a valuation of more than 1 trillion in the world. So there are only 7 companies with a valuation of more than 1 trillion across the globe. And out of these 7 companies, 6 are tech companies. And 1 is an oil-based company. And out of these 6 companies, 3 are platforms, and 3 are technologies that support platforms. So now, in a way, we're living in something called as a platform world. And all these companies didn't have a history of more than 30 years. So you take, for example, a company like NVIDIA with a valuation of $5 trillion, or a bit more than 5 trillion. So to give some perspective, NVIDIA's valuation is more than India's GDP. And if I put all Indian companies together and value them, the total valuation is less than 5 trillion. So there is one company with 65,000 people, right, that can generate a value equal to a productivity of 1.4 billion people per year, right? Now, how this value got created, how the value got unleashed, what problem they're solving, and what problems the platforms solve. You think of a platform like Amazon with a valuation of 4 trillion, close to $4 trillion. So what problem actually Amazon solves? Amazon solves a problem where there are 2 people on the demand and supply side, right? So the demand people would like to purchase something, but they don't know what's the optimal process of transacting in terms of the best value they can generate. Likewise, there are people who would like to supply, but they don't know to whom to reach out, right? So, but there is technology in the form of internet. It doesn't mean that these 2 people can transact. So you need a trusted third party. So you look at the model of Amazon. The model of Amazon is they try to build trust. And they build trust by ensuring that there is a guaranteed return, for example. So that's a mechanism through which they try to build trust. And by building trust, they build an economy around it. And they try to support people to solve one of the biggest problems that we all face right now is trust problem. And by solving the trust problem, they create value. So the innovations what we see right now are mainly innovations connected to solving trust problems. And what NVIDIA does, NVIDIA helps Amazon to become much more intelligent in solving the trust problem. Like for example, today, Amazon model is you search, select, we deliver. But the future of Amazon model is we deliver, you select and return. There is a big difference in terms of paradigm shift in both models. So the first model, when you search, select, and deliver, the problem for Amazon is they cannot forecast their inventory. So they cannot forecast demand and supply accurately. But in the second model, where they deliver, you select and return, over time, with all these chips, what NVIDIA provides to Amazon, they become more conscious about customers. In other words, customers do not have to ask them what exactly they're supposed to supply. So let's assume that's the future of Amazon. Then I think Amazon solves some big problems for the company. So they know that what is the demand so that they can plan their inventory much better. And likewise, they know the supply sources, they can plan much better. So they can have much more stable cash flows to generate higher value. You see that how both these companies are working together. So there's one company which solves the biggest problem in human history right now, which is a trust problem. And there is a second company which uses AI and the chip development to ensure that this company becomes more conscious and solve the problem. So that's the paradigm shift happening in Amazon's own journey. So that's the first thing. The first thing is it's important for us to know what's happening in the world in terms of paradigm shifts. So the biggest paradigm shift happening in the world is how companies are evolving to solve trust problems. Now, the second question I ask, because there are a lot of researchers here, I work in this space. Now, I would like to throw some pointers to you so that you can think more and maybe conduct some research in the future. So the second issue that's connected to the same trust problem is the question: should a private company create a private infrastructure and solve the trust problem, or is it the role of government to build a public infrastructure to solve the trust problem? I think that's the debate which is happening right now. Like, for example, Amazon solves the trust problem and becomes much valuable company, but the distribution of wealth has limits. In other words, whatever wealth creation that happens in Amazon has a limited beneficiaries of that wealth distribution, right? So only few people benefit. And over time, Amazon becomes so powerful in the process that they can influence the society as well. For example, you take Facebook, or you take companies like Google. They can influence societies because they build the trust model, they solve the trust problem, and eventually become the trusted third parties for the entire world. And in the process, they can influence how we function in the societies. Like, you can take the example of, for example, Facebook trying to influence elections, right? So that's a possibility, right? So now the question is, for India, especially for India, what is that we are supposed to do? How can we make it much more sustainable, solving the trust problem? Look at Indian journey of trying to solve the trust problem. I don't know whether it happened consciously or unconsciously, but something really great happened in India post 2010. You go back to 2010. 2010, only 35% of our population had bank accounts. Now we're talking about sustainability in this conference. So one of the core elements of sustainability SDG goals is poverty reduction and financial inclusion. More democratic wealth distribution, right? And what exactly is financial inclusion? Financial inclusion is access to consumption, access to credit, and access to insurance, right? Access to consumption is very important if you're below poverty line, right? So you have to provide access to consumption so that I can have food and shelter. But once I have access to consumption, I have to be more empowered. So you should get access to credit. So if you give access to credit, then you can create assets. Once you create assets, you don't have to depend on consumption needs from government. Like, for example, you have these direct benefit transfers from the government. You don't have to depend on that. Now you have access to consumption, access to credit. Now, the assets what you create may not be resilient. Hence, you need access to insurance as well. So as per World Bank, that's how we define financial inclusion. And there is a lot of evidence. I've done a lot of research showing that, if you provide access to credit, access to insurance, I have shown causally you can take people out of poverty. Now, how can you solve this big problem if only 35% of the population has bank accounts? And what's the problem for having access to consumption? Because if I have to provide access to consumption, there should be a bank account, right? And to have a bank account, then there should be an identity. And most of the times, people do not have an identity. So one big thing happened in India is Aadhaar back in 2010, right? That's the first public infrastructure rail we created, digital public infrastructure rail we created in India. So once we have identity digitally, then I can provide access to consumption so that you can open a bank account. You see that post 2010 and until 2016, 85% of the population got bank accounts. So 85% of the population got bank accounts, and now more than 90% of the population have got bank accounts. But see, bank accounts and access to consumption doesn't really solve the big problem, like an SDG problem we're talking about, right? So access to consumption is okay, but access to credit, for access to credit, you have to convert the information, like we were talking about information journey. Trust problem is a big problem for banks. If I have to give you a loan, the big problem is a trust problem. And how do you solve the trust problem? Now, what infrastructure can do, in digital public infrastructure can do, is it can create information that can be used as a collateral for loans. Like my consumption details is sufficient for many people to give credit access now. And how can you make this portable? Then we came out with a second infrastructure layer called as UPI. Right? UPI has led data to become more portable. So now data is portable from one point to other point with a consent. Now if data becomes portable, then people can monetize the data points. Then there is a new economy that got created for access to credit. But we are still far away for access to insurance. Now, only consumption data is not sufficient to provide access to credit. Then we came out with another layer of infrastructure. For example, DigiLocker is another layer of infrastructure where now you can store your financial details and you can provide access to everyone, right? And you can solve the trust problem, right? With common verification channel, with proper portability of data. Now you're building another layer, another layer called as, consent layer. Through, I don't know how many of you know DPDP Act. DPDP is the new Data Privacy and Data Protection Act that we got in India now, that ensures that whatever data you provide is always through your consent. That's another layer. So the bottom line is, if you build on your digital public infrastructure, you can solve the same problem what Amazon is also solving. But you can solve at scale through innovating and creating this ecosystem of innovators. Like it's the fintech industry in India that exploded because of infrastructure, right? You have so many people. And in the process, distribution of wealth becomes much more sustainable with public infrastructure, right? So that's the second point. Now, there is a huge scope of research in this area in terms of trying to understand how this is evolving, what kind of, features of this infrastructure are more important for us, optimal for, more sustainable environments in the coming years in India, So these are some things, so the first thing is the paradigm shift is happening, and it's not a new thing. Paradigm shifts keep on happening whenever there is a human problem. When we reach limits, then we go for innovations. Whenever innovations happen, paradigm shifts happen, right? So right now, the innovations in AI and everything is happening purely because, people want to solve this big trust problem. And that's why the companies are so valuable that are solving this problem. So this, I leave you with these thoughts, and I hope this helps you to understand how the world is evolving and what kind of research themes you can pick. And I hope this conference provides a forum for you to discuss all these things. Thanks for the opportunity again. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for your fantastic deliberation. क्या लहजा, क्या ज़ुबान, क्या तसलसल, क्या रवानी, क्या तख़य्युल की परवाज़, fantastic. I mean, your tone, your language, in language, that is economy, that wisdom, it all came out in one row. Thank you very much. Now this is time for presidential address. We have been fortunate to have the constant inspiration and guidance of our administration. This is my immense pleasure to invite the guiding force behind this university, none other than our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Padma Shri Professor Syed Ainul Hasan Sahab. Despite his busy schedule, sir could manage some time for us. Sir, एक शेर आपकी नजर. जाने इस शख्स को क्या हुनर आता है, रात होती है तो आंखों में उतर आता है, इसकी चाहत का तो अंदाज जुदा है सबसे, वो तो खुशबू की तरह रूह में दर आता है, बात करता है तो अल्फाज महक उठते हैं, जिस तरह शाखे मोहब्बत पे समर आता है. प्लीज वेलकम आवर ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर साहब सैयद ऐनुल हसन साहब.
In the name of the one who bestowed life and wisdom upon us, honorable speakers, distinguished guests, Dr. Suryakant Sharma ji, Professor Vijay Bhaskar, Mari Shetty, Professor Razaullah Khan, Dean, Professor Azimuddin, Head of the Department, Dr. Kanbuddin, Convener of the conference, host of colleagues and faculty of Management and Commerce, girls and boys. Now I'm absolutely unfit at this platform. Let me tell you. Got nothing to do with management, the bad management. But yes, there are certain highlights of this deliberation where, digital transformation, entrepreneurship, trade policies, sustainability, organizational behavior. Organizational behavior, Stephen Robin wrote this book. It was published in 1979. Although before that there was one in 1957 also, initially in 1913. Now look, this how relevant this book is even today. So I think I have donated one copy to our library. Please go and read this book before making any research, because when I was doing a project, a major project, UGC project, that time I was asked to read this book and then initiate. So that's how you see I'm seeing how important this book is. Then about finances and digital marketing, the banking and green energy, research and development. And of course, you see, the age of business. Everything is depending upon your market economy. Nothing more, nothing less. Penniless people can't deliberate. If you don't have something in your pocket, you see, you can't move. Even you can't go out of this campus. एक आइसक्रीम भी जो है वो खाने के लिए पैसा चाहिए. And how to deal with this situation is very, very difficult today, because AI is getting on my nerves. You know what is happening? Yesterday, it was Sunday, by 5:30, the message comes from the Ministry of Education that there are certain parliamentary questions and universities are supposed to answer by 9:30 this morning. Why? There is a kind of assumption that AI will help and then they will support and then everything is transmitted. That's how I'm telling you, it is getting on my nerves. And the whole team is sitting there, to finalize what kind of information we should pass on to the ministry. Sharma ji, please have mercy upon us. No, I know you people are great people, in fact. You are coping up with the time. You have time management. That's wonderful. So what I have to say here, that there are dangers ahead. You have to be very careful. And why I am saying, because every now and then I can see in my academic world, Manu is not just exception, my academic world, that something is generated by AI and then I'm asked to sign. This is a very, very dangerous thing, in fact. So मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ AI से. Anyway, कुछ तो कहिए कि लोग कहते हैं. So I have to say something. What I have to say, that first thing is that, okay, innovation is must. You must, every new day brings something new. And therefore, you have to be with the day. Think about it. Innovation. The traditional kind of researches, traditional kind of teachings and interactions, all these have gone to the oblivions. Now better, you find new ways. And your single approach, a distinct approach, shall take you to the ultimate height. This is what I see. Yesterday I was talking to some of the students about, goal setting. You have to set your goal. Then you will find a business. Then you will deal with the situation and the challenges arising out of the situations. Opportunity comes before you. You have to identify how to strive hard, how to move forward then. These are challenges before you. Don't sit idle. You can, while you are dreaming, you are resting. That time, murmuring, you can hear Vice Chancellor Murdabad, Vice Chancellor Murdabad. No. That's not problem. But every day, if you keep doing this practice, you see where you go, will go. Will go where the point from where you started. So I'm telling you, every morning when you get up, think about something. मैंने एक गजल लिख दिया आज मॉर्निंग में. At times, your experience counts. It's wonderful when you make use of your experiences. And that's how you see AI along with experiences. Without, you have to do. And keep doing exercises. Every day you will achieve something. Note it down. If you don't have a diary, at least note it down somewhere in your mobile. And remember, time, as I said, time marking is 100% necessary. जब चली जाएगी खुशबू इस चमन को छोड़कर. समझ में नहीं आया आगे? जब चली जाएगी खुशबू इस चमन को छोड़कर, सोचना फिर कैसा लगता है वतन को छोड़कर. और इतनी आसानी से तुम तर्के ताल्लुक कर गए. थोड़ा और भी डीप जाके सोचो, ऊपर से मत सोचो. इतनी आसानी से तुम तर्के ताल्लुक कर गए. अरे रूह भी मुश्किल से जाती है बदन को छोड़कर. But today what we need a joint exercise. Let us put our heads together and see the result. क्यों निकलना चाहते हो हल्क़े अहबाब से? हल्का समझते हैं? हल्का, yeah, like. हल्का इज रिंग भी कहते हैं, सराउंडिंग नहीं कहते हैं यार. सर्कल बहुत अच्छा वर्ड है सर्किल का. सर्किल, फ्रेंडशिप सर्किल. क्यों निकलना चाहते हो हल्क़े अहबाब से? सिर्फ तन्हाई मिलेगी अंजुमन को छोड़कर. और जब this is irony of the situation today. You see what is happening here. If you meet people and ask, you see, okay. Even जिनके पास सब कुछ है, वो भी हवा में. जब किसी से पूछता हूं हाल, आता है जवाब जब किसी से पूछता हूं हाल, आता है जवाब, और सब तो ठीक है दिल की जलन को छोड़कर। This will never go, I tell you. Even after acquiring plenty of wealth, everything at your disposal. But you have to do something in this world. This time, the time will never come back. गालिब ने कहा था, मेहरबान हो के बुला लो मुझे चाहे जिस वक्त, मैं गया वक्त नहीं हूं कि फिर आ भी न सकूं. And now I am telling you कि you have to do something in this world, and the time will never return back. मरने वाले के, रज़ाउल्लाह साहब, अरे नहीं भाई, जिंदगी के लिए बात करो, सुनो. मरने वाले के सभी आमाल उसके साथ हैं. You know, the falsehood and what shoes both are. मरने वाले के सभी आमाल उसके साथ हैं. कब्र में हर चीज उसकी है, कफन को छोड़. तुम बहारों में खिजा की बात क्यों करने लगे? Be happy, always smile. Yeah? It's a good thing. From morning till evening, मुसीबत भी पड़े, स्माइल करो. तुम बहारों में खिजा की बात क्यों करने लगे? क्या बचेगा हुस्न गुलशन में हसन को छोड़कर? एक और है, सच्ची बात यह है कि हर आदमी अपने आप को सबसे ऊंची मंजिल पर देखता है और सामने वाले को सबसे नीची मंजिल. नीची मंजिल से ऊंची मंजिल को देखना शुरू करो. कौन कहता है कि ये बस्ती गुनहगारों की है? कौन कहता है कि ये बस्ती गुनहगारों की है? सब यहां अल्लाह वाले हैं, हसन को छोड़कर. So I am really glad that you have good sessions. I was going through the list of participants and speakers, the stakeholders, and I am sure this conference, this congregation will bring something good for this university and for the whole, for our nation, for the whole world also. Try to combine your feelings, your thoughts, your ideas with the global need, and wishing you once again all the best. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. जिसको गुल पसंद है उसको गुलाब दो, आतिश मेरी ग़िज़ा है मुझे आफताब दो. माफ़ी चाहता हूँ सर, ये आप ही का शेर है, बस मौके से याद आ गया. थैंक यू वेरी मच टू ग्रेस द ओकेजन एंड इनलाइटन अस with your valuable golden words. Thank you very much, sir. Now, this is time to present memento to our distinguished guest present on the dais. So, in this connection, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahab to please give a token of gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Suryakant Sharma, sir. Please give a round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request our convener, Dr. Kamruddin sir, to give this token of gratitude to our keynote speaker, Professor Vijay Bhaskar Meriresh Sethi sir. Action. Now I request Professor Razullah sir to give that token of gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sayyid Anil Hasan sir. Thank you very much. Gradually, हम लोग we are on the verge of finishing the program of this inaugural session. So now आगे बढ़ते हुए this time I would like to call Dr. Kamruddin sir to propose vote of thanks. Please come on the stage, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, Rashid sir, and you bring a charm to the entire conference with your shairi and the voice. Really, I am grateful to the administrator with the human face. But sir mentioned that he is not having in touch with any management. But he is the person who is practicing the management with human face, which is missing in today's corporate world, which is missing in today's society, and which is missing in human relations too. And he stood as the symbol of, the icon of, to the academicians, and he showed in his presence in the university how an administrator and a poet and a writer and a philanthropist and above all this the humanist, and how a single person can make the entire Manu family make the happy, and he proved in his entire service here. Really, it is our MBA department is fortunate enough and having your presence in this 2 days national conference and showering upon us your blessings and reminding us and guiding us in the path of the research by quoting the organization behavior. And just we study the book, sir, but you are shown that practicing how the organization should behave. Thank you so much of your presence here. And then Sharma sir, S.K. Sharma sir, he shared his entire the life journey from his starting to till the career. He is the epitome of the determination, how a person can do the wonders in various fields. Not only serving the academics, not only serving the nation as a pilot in the defense, and serving the corporates as the vice chairman of the Micromax, and which came to Hyderabad after the bifurcation in 2014. And apart from that, and we generally are being exhausted by doing 1 degree or taking undergraduation. But he continuously did his 3 masters and did his PhD in organization development, which is interdisciplinary of both strategy and organization behavior. And he is not only stopping here, and he is a veteran academician also. He visits so many schools, and now he is discharging his responsibility as the advisor of electronics to the government of Telangana and the director also. So thank you so much, sir. Within short span of time, I invited, but with your great heart, immediately you understand my situation and accepted and graced the occasion. And really, your presence makes our all students and participants an inspiration to the academicians that we can take the research and everything what it is suggested by you. And it is one of my good friends who have been associated with for so many years, who finished his PhD in Monash University in Australia. And he served there and for some time. Later he worked on the fintech, financial technology at Netherlands, and he worked for sometimes Netherlands on projects. And then he moved to India, and he is visiting faculty for so many Institute of Managements of reputed in India. And when he was working in University of Hyderabad, and he was frequently a faculty visiting faculty to Indian School of Business, which is one of the top 20 business schools of world. So, and he also, and he's having the so many occasions, but with a small call and message, he quickly responded that all the way he came from Visakhapatnam to Hyderabad and to be a part of our national conference. Thank you very much, Vijay Bhaskar sir. Thank you very much. And you shared with how the trust and how the Amazon paradigm shifts that are taking place, the paradigm shift with the innovations and how the things are going on. Here, whatever it is mentioned in the conference, that is innovations, tariffs, and these are the processes of the running the organization of any business organization. But one thing I want to bring to your notice, that is how much budget you know, and big budget that is allocated by corporate sector to manage the public minds. जितना ज़्यादा पैसा दुनिया में कॉर्पोरेट जो खर्चा कर रहे, कौन सी चीज़ पर खर्चा कर रहे हैं आप जानते हैं, तो पब्लिक की मैनेजमेंट, पब्लिक माइंड को मैनेज करते हुए, कंज्यूमरिज्म को बढ़ाते हुए, जो हम कंज्यूम करते हुए तो बैंक में लोन के लिए क्रेडिट कार्ड ऑफर करते हुए, जो जब हम बैंक को जाके क्रेडिट कार्ड से जो चीज़ें खरीदने के लिए अपना मैनेजमेंट के लिए बहुत पैसा खर्चा कर रहे कॉर्पोरेट. दिस इज़ अनदर पैराडाइम शिफ्ट. So, and you beautifully narrated all these things and in a brief manner. Thank you very much, sir, all the way you came, and thank you so much. And here, and I can say that this is my elderly brotherly guidance always I receive from Professor Razaullah Khan. And even though he is at the age of 60s and plus, and never my energies are never matching to him and to work. 100% I agree, admit to him. How he is managing physically and mentally, I could not able to understand. We are getting exhausted with doing only one conference. The entire university conferences DD is collaborating now. And from every minute, since the idea of this conference, and Razaullah sir, like a big brother, stands with me, and he provides me the timely advice, the timely help, and to bring this entire gamut of the galaxy of the people to bring here, to sit together here, and his relentless, what we say, that efforts, determination, and urge to do for something, urge to do something, that is motivating him, that is inspiring to everybody in our department. Thank you very much, sir, Razaullah Khan sir. And my head of department, and one of my best colleagues and friend, Professor Abdul Azim sir, you are very much aware of it, because he is always recently he is always midnight times he is wandering in the campus because of and relentless. So, from the day one onwards, and sir is with me in this organizing this conference, and most of my responsibilities have been shared by him. And in spite of his proctoral work and in spite of his headship job, in meticulously and in every time up to till night 10 o'clock when I am staying here, he used to stay with me till night 12 and 1 o'clock while organizing this conference. the design of this memento is done by him only, and we went there and we brought it there, and such a meticulous care is taken with. Thank you so much, Azim sir, and for your down-to-earth personality and mingling with everybody and making this one. And along with my colleagues, everybody in this department, because this is a long list of the time. And probably the love and affection that is shared by all my colleagues, really, it is not a formal word, formal token word I am sharing to you. This is my bottom of my heart. And every colleague of mine, including from professors to junior level faculty, and everybody by open heart, and they come and they take every responsibility and without told by me. मैं कुछ भी नहीं बताया था, तो लेकिन खुद पे खुद खुली दिल से एंड इतना पूरे लोग आ गए थे, एंड रियली आई एम हैप्पी. एंड दिस इज़ द कल्चर थ्रू दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस, ए कल्चर दैट इज़ क्रिएटेड बाई a department of management, a teamwork that is done by all the people. Definitely it will be a role model to the university. And thank you very much, because thank you very much to all my colleagues and those who are with me from dawn to dusk. And apart from that, another members of our department family, that is my scholars, and I can't forget their help, because it may be the training ground. And they are continuously for the last 10 days, and they are working till midnight at 12 and 1 o'clock. Because of these, all the people, I am here in front of you in stable mind and with a pleasant face. Otherwise, if they would not have been with me, probably it would be a big pressurous work to me, because this is the one thing. And apart from that, my beloved students from BCom, MBA and MCom, those who register for this conference, number is 174 students registered for this conference from the department. And all this support, and my office people's support, and my office attendance support, and the media team's support, and along with the horticulture department, IMC department, and there are so many departments, everybody extended their, what we say that their wholehearted support for making the inaugural session to be a great success. Otherwise, without having their help, even the banners are unique way this is designed, and every team, they work very meticulously for the success of this conference. And from my bottom of my heart, and I'm really thankful to everybody, and thank you very much. And this conference is followed by with the tea, and after that, and everybody is welcome to lunch at our department too. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. प्रोग्राम के अख्ताम पजीर होने का वक्त आ गया है. आप सामीन को बता दें कि बाहर चाय का नज़्म है, अब चाय पिएं. एंड I request to social media team to play national anthem, and I request the audience to please stand up and give due respect to our anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा, तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे